Title: Don't want to replace the toilet paper when it's empty. Okay. My spouse, Jack, is a wonderful person and I love him dearly, but he can be a little one-track minded. Sometimes. We moved a few months ago and due to the bathroom setup, the extra toilet paper rolls have to be a few feet away from the toilet. In our previous house, the toilet was right next to a cabinet, so it was easy to replace the roll. Since moving, Jack often leaves an empty toilet paper roll on the holder and places the new roll on a surface by the toilet. Sometimes he'll use the last of a roll and not even get a new one out for the next user. Super inconsiderate, but no one is without faults. Right. I brought it up in casual conversation a few times, but he keeps doing. Okay. So, I told Jack the issue and allowed a few times of reminding so that he can form the habit, but he isn't even trying. Time to get petty. Jack really prefers that the toilet paper to be up and over rather than under and behind. Of course, now when I replace it after he should have, I purposely do it the way I know he doesn't like. Jack always fixes it the next time he uses it. One day, he said, "You know, the toilet paper is supposed to go up and over." I told him that I did know he really prefers it that way, and if he replaced it himself then he wouldn't have to worry about it. The look of "Wait a minute." Title: I don't like my walls rattling at 2 a.m. I live in a 4-unit condo. Mine is a 2-level with the bedrooms upstairs, and there is an upper-only unit that shares a wall with my bedroom. My attached garage is directly below them. The units were built in the 70s, so even though most noise doesn't travel, very loud ones do. They used to like to play wall-vibrating deep bass music at 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning, banging on the wall or shouting out my upstairs window, which is adjacent to their patio, never deterred them. So I came up with my own. Title: Oh, I was going to do that. I, 27F, live with a handsome and lovely man, 27M, let's call him Dan, whom I love. We have 3 cats and have lived together about 5 years. Before COVID, I worked out of the house like 12 hours a day and brought work home another 4 hours or so. Dan does 10-hour days. I work a ton, and so does he, but the housework is a bit unbalanced. I'm the organizational one. I take care of bills being paid, everyone's appointments. I'm also the one who does more housework, generally. 2 to 3 years ago, I started noticing that right as I would finish emptying the dishwasher, or right after I scrubbed a pan clean, just as I finished hanging all the laundry, I would hear Dan say from the couch, "Oh, honey, I was going to do that." For the past couple of years, I started to get pissed about this. He will be doing nothing while I'm doing something like unpacking groceries, Swiffering the floor, running the dishwasher. Then I'll hear, "Oh, I was gonna do that, babe. If you were going to do it, you would have done it, you handsome ass." I called him out about it probably a year ago. Since COVID, I've been home way more than he has. Same hours, just remote. I've kind of been letting him do the laundry and leaving chores that he doesn't realize magically get done by me. Yesterday, Dan started emptying the dishwasher and I was sitting on the couch 10 feet away. He kinda kept looking up at me and then around to the dishes, mostly his, which had been piling up. Clearly frustrated that I didn't do it. He keeps unloading and then right it, he finished the top and bottom and got to the silverware basket. I looked up from my phone and I go, "Oh baby, I was going to do that." His face went from annoyed greater than pissed greater than realizing my scheme greater than acknowledgement that he's an ass. Title: I made my mom stop slapping me. I'm South Asian and it's considered normal for parents to physically abuse children here because we're their property. I've been abused all my life by my parents in pretty terrible ways. beating me till the wooden ruler broke, hitting my head, stepping on and kicking my head and chest when I was down, and many other forms of merciless beating. This incident happened when I was 13. I was about to enter high school and had to choose what I wanted to study. I wanted to study science, but they forced me to choose commerce because I got a C in my last grade. They thought I was too dumb for science. I argued with my mother about this and she slapped me very hard, said some profanities and walked away. Petty revenge because I was sitting on my study table while the argument. I used my geometry compass to slash my cheek. Not deep enough to leave a scar, but deep for it to bleed and scab. In Asian culture, girls can't have a ruined face or scars. So, I started to flaunt that scar intentionally in front of her, and she finally asked how it happened. And I told her that she did it. She looked horrified. I was scoffing inwardly as I thought how beating me till I bled and passed out didn't horrify her. But a scar on my face did. Title: Freeload and get free rent. Okay, you're not getting your mail. About 2 years ago, my co-worker and his girlfriend had a falling out and decided to split up. I signed a 2-year lease with my co-worker to move into a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with him. After about a year, he and his girlfriend had apparently reconnected, and she has been living at our place every day. 100% rent-free for almost a year now. Lease ends November. Getting out of here ASAP. Anytime I bring it up, he says that she pays rent at her own place, and it's not fair to ask her to pay rent for 2 places. Here's the kicker: she started to have her mail sent to our apartment. Title: Tour publicity can't beat me. My power is over 9,000. At the beginning of last year, for some reason, the supermarket where I work decided to place some screens all over the place to show advertising. It wouldn't be a problem if it wasn't because of one in my area. They were placed in an uncomfortable place, and 2 with sound loud. My claims fell on deaf ears because the boss didn't think it was a big deal and told me to just ignore it. Every day I had to endure the same annoying publicity. I was very upset, but I couldn't do anything. One day there was a power outage and the screens were reset. Their security and configuration returned to their factory state. So this was my chance to have a little fun. Something important is that I have 2 cell phones. One is for calls and all use, and the other is an old cell phone that a friend gave me because it could not be used to call or internet, but its screen was big. So I use it in public transport, and I could also use it as a decoy in case of a robbery. I use it only to listen to music and watch movies. I realized that the Bluetooth connection was open but with a password, so I looked for it on the back of the monitor and connected it with my cell phone and started playing Dragon Ball Super Broly. After a few minutes, my area was full of young people and adults watching the movie, which bothered other clients. After a while, I thought this could cause me problems, so I hid my cell phone just in time to see my boss walking to me and asking what was happening. I pretended to be surprised. He clearly suspected, but I showed him the cell phone I use for calls and even lent it to him to look at. He told me to fix it, but I just responded, "I don't know how to fix it. Maybe you should just ignore it." After a while, he started making calls to technicians to solve the problem. Near the end of the movie, there was a large crowd enjoying the show. Some were even eating chips.